Happy Stamp Timber makers. The day's finally come. This is the collaboration between Simon Says Stamp and Tim Holtz for STAMPtember 2023. It includes several things. First of all, of course, this adorable hand sketched looking stamp set with what looks like a hand printed font. And these sentiments are, you know, some that we're used to, like let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. We wish you a Merry Christmas, but also some fun, silly ones like I made this. No, you can't return it. This is for you, but I wish it was mine. So we have kind of a fun mixture of things in here. And not only do we get this great stamp set, but 2 mini stencils, a sparkle, and some stars. And then to go with those, you of course need some texture pastes. And so these are regulation size. You don't get regulation size in this set, but I had both of them in the regulation size. So I set them over here so that you could see very clearly. You get a small texture paste sparkle and a small grit paste glow. And the size that you get in this set will be this size of both texture pastes. And this is also exclusive to this STAMPtember release because these have not been released anywhere else. You can only get them in this release. All right, so that's pretty exciting. So if you're one of those people that were like, yeah, I'm not really sure about the glow paste or the sparkle texture paste, I'd like to try it, but I don't want to buy a whole jar. And then if I don't like it, it goes to waste, or if I can't use it all, well, this is the set for you because you get the little trial size. Aren't they cute? I just think they're so adorable, you know, in comparison to regulation size, right? Super fun. Anyway, so seasonal distress texture paste releases in the tiny size, 2 stencils, and this fun stamp set. So I am looking forward to getting started, and I want to invite you along. So let's get making for STAMPtember 2023. I'm going to begin by coloring my card base. And I'm using the Frozen Fog Mica Stain just because I wanted to have a little bit of a shimmer, but I'm going to keep it mostly white. So I'm going to begin by spraying it. This is the front, but I figured it would end up on the back. So I'm just going to spray the whole thing with some water. And then I've already shaken it up to get that mica off the bottom there. And it's already settled a little back there in the corner. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay, there we go. All right. That will just give it the little tiniest bit of shimmer. And now I'm going to dry it. And there we go. Hopefully you can kind of see the shimmer on there. And that's all I wanted. So then I'm going to flip it over and have a handy dandy stamp so that everybody knows who made this one. And I'm going to set this aside and work on the front. I'm ready to stamp these. So I have a half a sheet of watercolor cardstock. This is the smooth side. I'm going to stamp it first in archival ink, and then the next set round I'm going to stamp in the hickory smoke. I did most of this in fast forward, obviously. So let's talk about what I did to catch you up. So I stamped the tree from the Christmas 2023 release from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous called Winter Woodlands. So I stamped this tree. You can stamp any trees that you have in your collection. I just had that one out since I just worked with it recently, so that's the one I used. I colored the back here with the blending brush in Speckled Egg. Then I stamped the trees in Iced Spruce so that they kind of looked like they were back far away. Then, let me take these off so that you can see all of that. All right, so there's all the trees in Iced Spruce in the background. And obviously it has been masked off. So I just have this roll of masking paper. It's 6 inches by I don't know how much that I bought several years ago from Judikins. And I just pulled off a piece and I just tore it. And that's what I used. So I stuck that on there and I did my blending with the Speckled Egg and my blending brush, which you saw all of that in fast forward. And then I did the stamping. I didn't even use the stamping block. I just used my hand to do the trees, both in the background and the trees in the forefront. Then I wanted these trees to look like they were in snow. And so I turned this over and stamped those so that they look like they were closer, but still in snow. So I didn't get the whole tree. All right, then I pulled that off. I did use the sparkly, it's drying, but I used the sparkly mini stencil and the sparkly sparkle texture paste. So you can kind of see the sparkly, maybe snowflakes or whatever back there in the background. And then I poked holes at the top of each tree with my pokey tool. I took a needle and some kind of thick crafter's thread that I have that used to be in the Tim Holtz Eclectic Elements line, but they no longer sell it. So just use some thin jute or brown thread or whatever it is that you have in your stash. And so I went down this side and then I went around a couple of times through both holes, came back up in the hole on this side, took it across, went down, around a couple of times, pulled it back out and cut it off. So you can see where I went around both of them a couple of times so that it would look like maybe a little clothesline hanging across there. I stamped in the air, there's a feeling of Christmas since these are all hanging in the air, kind of as a little play on words there. For the snowman, I cut the broom off of his hands. So you can see he has it there and I cut it off. Can't even tell it was there. So he's going to have laundry that he's holding. I colored him with tumbled glass and and hickory smoke. These were all colored with Rustic Wilderness and tumbled glass, a little bit of prize ribbon, and some candied apple. So those are the colors that I used to watercolor these, which you saw in fast forward as well. So now I'm going to arrange these, and I kind of want this guy over here. I folded up this kind of along these little lines here because it's just going to be kind of laying like it fell down, you know. So it's laying. I want one of these up here hanging down. I want this hanging. I want 2 of these hanging as if they're drying. And then he's holding this one. Okay, so I want the other way. So that's going to be there. And he's going to be holding this one. Like under his arm a little bit. There we go. Okay. What do I think? I think that's good. And then I have my background, which is just a little shimmery. So this is going to go on there. And that's it. Pretty simple, right? And just kind of silly, just like the snowman's hanging up all his winter clothes, getting ready, you know, for his ugly Christmas party and all that with his mittens and his stockings and everything. So I'm just going to start adhering everything. I think I may put these on with pop dots just so that they kind of look like they're hanging, and we'll be good. I decided that they need to have like clothespins to make them look like they're actually hanging on there. And I decided that the snowman's nose looks like a, kind of, if you do it this way, it looks like a clothespin, you know? So I just stamped a bunch of them with archival black soot. And I'm just going to real quick cut them out and kind of stick them on there. I cut out all the noses. I stamped more than I needed, and I attached quite a few of them. So this one's attached, holding the little mitten on. The snowman's holding one in his hands. I have a couple that ended up on the ground over here, and I attached this one here. So I still need to attach this one holding this stocking, and then the two that are on here. So I thought I would do that so that you could see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can zoom in. Maybe not. Okay. There we go. So I just take it, and because I cut this way, I'm just going to put a little bit of collage medium on the front of that one and the back of this one. And then just to make sure that I don't have too much on the front side. I want it to hold, but I don't want it to squeeze out. Whoops. So I have ink all over my fingers. So that's what that is. All right, so I'm going to press this behind and on the front like that. And then just let it dry. And on this one, I'm putting it on the front of this one because it's going to go behind. And then the back of this one, and I just need a little bit. And then I'm going to, okay. And then come over here. That down. And then this one, same thing. So this one's going to be on the front, and so I put it on the front of this one. It's going to be in the back. Okay. And there we go. Let's zoom back out. Whoops. Here's my finished card for the Tim Holtz Simon Says STAMPtember 2023 release. I think it's a fun slimline card. Tells a silly little story. Snowman doing his laundry, getting ready for Christmas. And I think that the little sentiment in the air, there's a feeling of Christmas, just perfectly matches this. And I know that I used a stamp that is not in this set, but pretty much all of us have some sort of tree stamp that we can use. You don't have to use this one. So I think that was safe to use with this set. I don't know if you can see at the bottom in the corner here and in the corner over here, and I kind of carried it over. I was just using the sparkle texture paste and my palette knife, and I just kind of spread it along to just give that area where I had masked it when I stamped the trees, to kind of give it a little feeling of maybe snowdrift with some of that sparkle that we have up here that I put through the sparkle mini stencil with the sparkle texture paste. I didn't use the glow that comes with it, but I did use the sparkle. So anyway, I just think this is super fun, and I think it's funny to use the nose as the clothespin to hold them on the clothesline and some of that. So anyway, this was a really fun little card to make. I enjoyed it, and I hope that it gave you a little bit of inspiration as to maybe how to use some of the stamps in this STAMPtember release. And just a reminder, it is a limited edition, and it is exclusive only to Simon Says Stamp. You can't get the stamp anywhere else, and once it's gone, it is gone. It will not return. So I encourage you, if you do like this adorable sketched stamp set, and you want to as well get the stencils and the 2 mini texture pastes. Remember, you do not get the regulation size that you're seeing here. You get 2 small mini pastes to try them out and see if that's something that you like. So if you love this set, I encourage you to go ahead and you can follow the link, my link, and go over and get your STAMPtember set right away before they sell out. Thanks for watching, and I want to wish you a very creative day.